Now see, I have been telling you about the NSE and the BSE, that is the stock exchange we have in India. So let's understand what exactly is a stock exchange, what role it has to play, what are the functions. Okay, so let's understand first. See, as per the Security Contracts Regulation Act of 1956, stock exchange has been defined as a means that any body, it is any body of individual. So stock exchange means any body of individual, whether incorporated or not, constituted for the purpose of assisting, regulating, controlling the business of buying and selling and dealing on securities or dealing in securities. So what does it mean? Basically this is a body of individual. Okay, it doesn't matter if it is incorporated or not, but then the purpose of stock exchange is to assist, regulate, control the business of buying and selling or dealing in securities. See, when stock exchanges came up, that is when the capital markets came up, investors, that is the savers, used to come and save the money, and the investors, that is the businesses, used to take the money from these households or individuals. Okay, so what was happening, there was not proper mechanism, and there were certain business houses which resorted to cheating and other kind of malpractices. Hence it became necessary that we had a security act, that is Securities Contract Act, okay, wherein we went in for a stock exchange, a proper stock exchange where people can come and freely trade. So that's the definition which has been given to us under this act. Now, what are the functions? Let's see them. See, it provides liquidity and marketability to existing securities, because it is through stock exchange you can buy and sell any existing security. So if I have to buy today Reliance, then I can go and buy it from NSE or BSE. Now, it helps in pricing of securities. Now, if you happen to get a chance, go and look at the top 10 companies who have the highest price either on NSE or BSE. You can just search it on the net and you will see how certain shares would be priced in the range of 1 to 2000. There are some securities which are priced at a whopping 22-25,000. So cost of one share is on 22 to 25,000. So it helps in pricing the securities. Now it ensures safety of transaction. Now this is very important, that when as a person, as a individual, as a saver, when I want to invest in the market, my money is not tampered with. I don't end up losing the money because it went to a fraudulent business house. So safety of transactions which are happening is ensured by the stock exchange. Okay, it contributes to economic growth. We learned already that it is because of the secondary and the capital markets which are there in the country, people can invest the savings they have and business houses can take that. Okay, now most of the money will go to the most productive investments, that is most productive business houses, and hence it will contribute to economic growth. It helps in spreading the equity cult. Very interesting thing, because as the NSE and BSE develop, recently you would have heard the news that NSE crossed 10,000. So when people start seeing that the savers who invested in the capital markets have been earning money compared to the traditional ways like having a fixed deposit or buying gold, so then they get attracted. Now this attraction is also possible because we have a stock exchange in the country who ensures there is safety of investors, safety of the transactions which is being carried in the exchange. Now it helps in providing the scope for speculation. Now remember, the secondary market is not only for trading, when for a long term investment. There are investors. Now when I am talking about investors, I mean to say here the savers. Okay, so there would be certain people who would be interested in speculation, and that is the reason the derivative instrument market has been developed in NSE. So you have those FNOs also, that is the derivative instruments through which you can trade in the NSE, that is in National Stock Exchange. It allows you for speculation also. Speculation is nothing but when a person wants to earn some quick money by speculating that the price is going to go up, or shorting the security when it feels the price is going to go down. Okay, a long term investor would be one who will invest for several years. When I'm talking about speculation, they just want to grab an opportunity wherein they can make profits because of some news which they have. Now, let us see the trading procedure on a stock exchange. So, what exactly is the way to trade on a stock exchange? So, let's assume I wanted to save 12,000, I want to invest in the company by way of investing in the stock exchange, that is coming into the secondary market and trading in securities. First thing, you will have to select a broker. See, it is necessary to select a broker, as trading can be done through SEBI registered brokers, okay, and they have to be members of stock exchange. So when you are selecting a broker, ensure two things, that it is a SEBI registered broker and it is a member of stock exchange in which you want to trade. Okay, for example, in India we have Share Khan, we have Angel Broking, we have Zerodha, just to give you few examples of brokers. So there are various brokers, but whenever you are selecting them, ensure they are registered with SEBI and they are the members of the stock exchange in which you want to trade. Okay, now brokers can be individual, partnership firms and corporate bodies. So depending on the scale of their operations, they can be either individual or a partnership firm, or they can be a proper corporate bodies. Then you will have to open a demat account with the depository. See what happens, once I have selected the broker, it is the broker who will do the rest of the formalities for me. So what he will do, first thing, he will ask you, have you ever traded in shares or not, or is it like you're coming first time to a broker? So you'll answer him, yes, I'm coming first time. So then he will understand you need to have a demat account with a depository. Okay, so he will on your behalf help you to open that demat account. Now what is a demat account? See, that is a dematerialized account which generally an Indian citizen will have to open with the depository participant. We commonly call depository participant as DP. Now DPs can be banks or stockbrokers to trade in listed securities in electronic form. So what happens here is, when I am having a demat account, that means as an Indian citizen I can trade in the listed securities in electronic form only after opening a demat account, otherwise I am not allowed to do so. Now the DP, that is the depository participant, is an institution who will hold the securities in electronic form in which the trading is being done. See, earlier what happened, we had this physical certificates which you used to get. Okay, now it was very cumbersome to hold that as an individual. If I'm investing, so I'll get those certificates. Okay, there used to be a lot of problems with that. Sometimes if it gets lost, because it was ultimately a paper, so then there were lot many formalities to be done. Now what happens, everything is being stored by the depository in electronic form. So they have the computers which have the data. So because of that, it becomes very easy and to trade nowadays. Okay, the transfer of shares is much faster, and that is the reason we have come to the settlement of T+2. That is, I explained you already what is T+2. Earlier what used to happen, because there were physical securities involved, so the transfer of shares from one individual to another individual used to take time. Now it is faster because everything happens in electronic form. Okay, now in India we have two depositories. One is the NSDL, that is National Security Depository Limited, and second is the CDSL, that is the Central Depository Services India. Okay, now let's see the next procedure. Then you will place the order. Now the demat account is open, the broker will also open an account of yours with him. Okay, you will have to have some margin money. What is margin money? See, this is a certain percentage of money which the broker will say you will have to keep when the account is open with him. Okay, now when you are trading in the share market, okay, he will ensure that because based on this margin money you can trade. See what happens, the settlement is T plus 2. Okay, so let's say I know my salary is going to come on Wednesday. Okay, but right now my account has 5,000 rupees as margin money. With the broker I have the account, I'm keeping as 5,000 in margin, whereas the money required is 6,000. So based on that margin money which I have, the broker will allow me to place a trade which I can settle, that is I can pay the money on T plus 2 day, that is the moment I get the shares in my account, that is the day on which the settlement happens, not the day when the shares are credited to my account. Okay, that is on, if I am doing it on Monday, then by Wednesday I need to pay to the broker. But then for margin money, it is like I have to keep that money so that I can place the trade till the time I pay him the entire money which is required for getting the shares in my name. Now, how do I place the order? This would be through a telephone call, or as I explained you, through an email, or nowadays I can just log into the systems which these brokers have, wherein directly I get connected and I can just place an order via those systems. That is the trading platform which we call. Okay, now here through trading in platform I can buy or sell. Okay, and we also have the capability, or we have been given that facility to mention the price range in which the order needs to be executed. Similarly, if I am doing it through telephone, then I can tell him all these details. Now, remember, only the listed security companies, that is the securities of listed companies, can be traded on a stock exchange. Now, next comes the execution of the order. Let's say I told him, or I inserted an instruction by way of a trading platform stating buy Reliance at 1400. Okay, right now the price is going around at 1410, that is 1410. So it is 10 rupees higher than my price at which I intend to buy. So that's an instruction to the broker. The moment Reliance share price falls to 1400, I will place the broker would automatically, that is the system would automatically place the trade and the purchase would get executed. Okay, so the brokers, once that shares are purchased, they would issue you a contract note. Okay, now the contract note will contain the price of the security at which it was bought, the name, so it will say Reliance Industry, price 1400. Okay, it will also say the quantity. So let's say 100 quantity I bought, name of the parties which are involved, that's the name of your and the broker's name, the charges he has charged you, the brokerage charges. Now remember, when you are opening an account with broker, so he will earn from the brokerage which he is charging you. Okay, so every transaction you do, you will be charged a brokerage. So that would be the brokerage charges. Then your security transaction tax, which is a tax levied by the government. Okay, then now you also have the GST. So everything, all the details of the charges and the price at which the security has been brought is there in the contract note. Now this is duly signed by the broker and it contains the membership number with the stock exchange, okay, or the registration number with the SEBI. Now after that the settlement happens. Settlement is the last stage. What happens at that time? You have to ensure that you pay the money to the in your broker's account, that is the account you opened with your broker. Let's say 14 in 100 was the share price. I bought 100 shares. So I bought Reliance 100 shares. If I multiply that with 1400, how much is the price coming? 1,40,000. So I need to pay that 1,40,000. That is, I need to deposit that much of amount in my broker's account so that the settlement can happen. If I fail to do so, then the contract will get nullified, okay, and he will have to auction my purchase, whatever purchase I had done, and I'll have to pay him the punitive charges if required, or maybe the shortage, because if the auction goes to, let's say, auction price is at 1390 when the auction happens, then I'll have to pay that difference also to him. So that is the procedure of trading on a stock exchange.